Kirkland is stationed behind the wall with his comrades, and he's struggling to sleep. In the field before him in the darkness, there are thousands of Union soldiers, some of them dead and dying, some of them wounded, and some of them who are actually stuck because they were unable to retreat to their lines. And they're actually laying on the battlefield, hiding behind the bodies of their comrades, trying not to be picked off by sharpshooters who were using that almost as a shooting gallery. Kirkland and his comrades, they're trying to sleep, and the skies are filled with the smell of smoke, the smell of the burning buildings in the city, the smell of the artillery that were at the top of a hill. There's this burnt sense that permeates the entire air in front of him. And then the sound of the wounded, the cries of these Union soldiers that were trapped on the field, moaning and groaning, some of them crying for their mothers and their wives, some of them praying, and some of them just outright crying. And it had to weigh very heavily on the conscience of those soldiers that were on the other side of the wall, because they had been the ones that dealt this death blow. So Kirkland's conscience, I think, takes over. And it's no longer an irritable nuisance that's preventing him from sleeping, but it's something that really touches his heart, and he feels the need to do something. So as the sun rises, Kirkland goes to his superior officers and petitions permission to leave the sanctity and safety of the wall, to go out into the battlefield, and to administer aid to the enemy. He is turned down again and again, but he remains persistent. Eventually, he is told that he's allowed to leave his position and render aid, but he cannot do so under a white flag of surrender. So gathering up as many canteens as he could, Kirkland climbs over the wall into no man's land and begins wading through all of these blue battered bodies in front of him, giving water to those that are still alive. Now, federal sharpshooters that are positioned in some of the buildings looking down into the field think that Kirkland is out there trying to rob these men of their boots, maybe their watches, other valuables that they may have. And they begin taking shots at him. And by the grace of God, he does not get hit. And eventually they realize that he's not robbing these men, he's actually administering aid to them. So they give a great cheer. And his men behind the wall give a great cheer. And for 1 hour, as he goes back and forth over the wall, refilling canteens and administering aid to as many men as he can, he has essentially stopped the entire American Civil War in Virginia.